Hello everyone and welcome to another edition of Micks Mowers, and in this edition we're going to be looking at a little Mountfield. I think it's an LC41, I think, could be wrong, or 45 I think it is, not quite sure. It's part of this job lot coming. It's got a Briggs and Strats on the top. It is running, so it might just want a bit of a tidy up, so it could be quite a quick little video, but I want to try and get some of these job lots sort of up and running and get them ready for sale. So I have also got a Honda. I don't know if you've seen it before. It came in as a part exchange. Gentleman wanted to have a smaller lawnmower because around my area had lots of new builds, and he just literally cannot get his big mowers down the side alleyways of his gardens on his new build. They just don't fit. So terrible shame. He picked up a Mountfield 454 and swapped it straight in against a Honda, which is crazy, but I suppose a man needs to earn his money by cutting grass and what have you. That's what he needs to do. So a quick look at a little Honda, see what that's like, and then we'll also get on and do this little Mountfield. So without further ado, let's get down and dirty and let's check out these two little lawnmowers. Okay, so the first lawnmower we have, which is coming as part exchange, has got a massive 5.5 overhead valve Honda lump on top. It's a Lawnflight Pro 553 HWS. It came in originally as not working. That's why he wanted to trade it in. It wasn't running at all, but I've had no problem starting it whatsoever, so I'm not quite sure what he was doing or what have you. It's got rotor clutch, it's got 2-speed power drive, it's got everything. There is a slight issue with it, and that's the front wheel on here is very loose due to the fact that it's sheared off inside, so I need to possibly buy just a bolt that goes through here to fix that, or do some kind of machining to get it fixed. So if anyone knows where I can get the bolt that fits these for the 553s, give us a shout in the comments section. I'll just fire it up for you. No fuel. It's got a broken throttle lever, just snapped off at the top. I've got to repair that. So onto choke. Bit cold. Needs to warm up a touch. So it's got a bit of a hunt to it, so I want the carburetor and spark plug looked into, air filter change and what have you. But it also comes with, it's got a broken throttle lever just here. You can operate it, you just get hold of it and pull it out. It will all work. So I need to either replace that with a new one or super glue something on. I can figure something, it might be just by this handle, not quite sure yet. It also comes with a 2-speed walking pace as well, which is really cool. Drive all works and the rotor clutch all works. So got a bit of a story, is that I've sold my hater. My trusty old hater is now gone, and this now will either replace my hater, or if not, the Viking over in the background you can see just about there. I may be using the Viking instead, but we'll see. Give us a comment what you think I should keep, the hater, the Honda or the Viking. This has got a flap on the back, so it will stripe, whereas the Viking actually has a roller. So let us know what you think about that. And the lawnmower we're looking at today is a LC45 Briggs and Strats. I'm pretty sure all of this will come off. It's just dirt and grime, and this should all fire up, this one. all works as it is anyway, so this will be in for a quick service and a quick turnover. Clean it up, tidy it up and get it ready for sale. So come on, let's get it on the bench. Okay, I know what I do need to do. I need to have a shop clear out because my shop is becoming embarrassing. It is height for season for me, so I'm just milling through it best I can, but at the moment my bench is just, my word, I need to get on top of it. So I'm not proud of it, but it's what it is. I did sort it out once, but it only takes a day in here, and you've had it, you know what I mean? It fills up. So right, let's get the cover off first. That wants a couple of Torx bits on there, I dare say, just to remove that. Where are we in here? Do is just start to just clean this off with an air compressor. A bit of liquid there. What's that? That's just water. Get an air compressor off, and I'll come back. Right, that's got rid of most of the dirt and debris that I don't want. Just want to get myself a flat-headed screwdriver. Now, some of you have seen me do this time and time again, but like I keep reiterating, is I can only service and what have you comes into my shed. So this is what comes in. This is what's going to get done. The oil filter's at it. It's a proper Briggs and Stratton one too, but it's absolutely smothered in oil, so that'll be binned. That'll be cleaned off and given a bit of a happy birthday. All the springs and what have you, they're all well greased up, dirty and what have you, but they're all there, they're all in place. So all I'm going to do is get a bit of tissue. I don't want to introduce anything new into the carburetor. That goes in there. Oh, might look like a ring. And then just going to get me my little paintbrush with methylated spirits or stale fuel. Start to agitate all of this up. Start to knock it all off. And I'll bring in the air compressor again and just start to clean this off just before I take the pull cord and have it all off. So just start to break it all down. This has got a throttle control on it as well, which I don't really agree with on these Briggs and Strattons. I don't need it really, in my opinion. Right, air compressor back in, and just want to blow off this excess dirt and grime. Okay, with that done, I'm now going to remove the, well, can't remove the bolt that's at the front because it doesn't exist. It's not there, but I've got a spare in my tray. Take the long one out. That's a 13. And then slowly pull the carburetor. I don't know I can yet because I should be able to. Pull that off. It's got a throttle control on there, but that shouldn't be linked to it. Lift the linkage up, tilt the tank back, and put the tank to one side. That can be cleaned later on. I now want to take off the pull cord assembly, which is 3/8 or 10mm, whichever ones they are, but generally 3/8. And severely carboned up, what have you. That'll go straight in the bin. That's no good for nothing. Pull cord assembly can come straight off with the oil filler. I've got to disconnect the throttle on the front. That all comes off. That can go down there out of the way. And then again, all I'm going to do, I'm just going to bring in my WD-40 spray for this one to start to soak all the stuff down. Nothing too horrendous. There's no heat shield on this one either. Just noticed. That's not on there. So a good soak with that. I'm going to get my tissue. A bit of that can go in the oil reservoir so I don't put no more dirt inside that either. And then a bit inside the tube here. And then again, all I want to do is just get my air compressor and blow this all off to bring it up to a nice clean standard. So give us 2 ticks, I'm going to blow it all off. Right, let's start to look a bit more presentable. Just going to give it another quick blast over. I've got rid of most of it. Just let that sit for a bit. It's only a fine mist spray I'm using. I'm not using massive quantities. But just let that soak it up now. And whilst it's doing that, I just want to double check their head bolts to make sure that they're in good condition and they're down tight. It's a bit too big, that 13. Stick it down to 1/2 inch. Right, so now I think it's safe to say that we're now pretty much dirt and grime free. Got to have it looking relatively clean inside here so we know what's going on. There's all the little tiny bits and pieces that need to be cleaned off individually, just so you can see what's going on. Otherwise you'll trip up and come across stuff that you might miss stuff, you know what I mean. So, well, that's all now been done. So I want to take the oil out next. I know that some of you have commented about me, I should be taking oil out after the engine's run, but I didn't, and that's the honest answer. So I'm going to take the oil out now and do the oil change. Once the oil's out, I'm going to take the blade off and give the old blade a sharpen balance up. So that goes into there. I'll start to pump this out. There it goes. It's actually running really well. So let me do this and I'll come back in 2 ticks. Right, that's the oil now finishing draining off. And then once that's fully done, we'll tip this lawnmower up on its side and have the blade off and see what that looks like. Okay, so underneath here actually doesn't look too bad in respect to condition of deck. But there's lots of solid grass build up, which I've got to take all that out, clean all that up. There's no oil coming from the oil seal at the top. The blade is on and it's on correctly, so just want to take this blade off, my old trusty. Stick that on there. And off that comes. Let's have a look at the blade. Yeah, the blade's battered and beaten, so I want some brand new edge put onto that, so we can do that in a minute. I'm going to get on and that boss will come off or not, I don't know. So much debris, I don't think it will come off by hand. Some string up here and all sorts, I want to get all that off as well. So I'm going to take all this string off. I don't think the boss is going to come off. It may do, we'll see. I'd like it to come off if possible. I've got a puller. It is wobbling, so it may come off with a bit of therapy. And I'll clean this deck up, get it looking nice and clean, and I'll come back. Okay, so that's not going to come off in any hurry. So I want to put a 14mm socket on. What do I want? I want a big extension. To go down to a half size. Put my ratchet on it. I just want to take it off because there's so much dirt behind there. I just want to be clear in my mind that I'm actually doing what I can. So I've got a 2-jaw puller and nice and slowly start to pull her off. What do people use for putting in here? I'm inquisitive. I'm just using bolts, and sometimes it still is not very good. So that's coming off now. I just use a bolt, but the metal's not very good. So what do you all use for them? Might be a good idea to text me over or message me over what you're using. Right, that's the underside of the deck all now done and looking nice and tidy. That's what we'd like to see. Looking so much better. I now want to, I'll do that keyway. That's gone from there. There it is. Got it. Right, blade's all been done. Ouch. All sharp. All the best burrs taken off of it, best I can, and balanced off as well, and deburred on the back of it as well. That's all done. I'm going to get me keyway. That sits in there. Boss goes on. A little bit of persuasion from the soft kind. And then blade boss, the blade and bolts fits onto the adapter. That's on and done. So a bit of a tidy up, and I'll put this down and then we can get on the rest of the engine. Right, next I want to top the oil back up, put the pull cord assembly back on. I might give that a spray of black actually, just to pick. Oh no, I don't need to because it's got a cover on it, so I don't need to. That's cool. So that goes back into place, like so. Push it all on. What's that there? It's a spare bit of pull cord knocking around. I need to do a video on a shop clean. Is what I need to do. That's got to go onto there. I want my exhaust guard, which I put over here. That's a Briggs. So I don't want to take a chance with that spray paint if it's not the right one. 10mm or 3/8 in the front, one on the back with a little cleaned up guard on. Somewhere. Oh. Having issues. Having real issues. Let me get a 10mm or 3/8 on that. What's that? 11mm. Let me put it on with a 3/8. It might just find its home better. Like that, you see. We'll go into place there in a bit. So that's all roughly in place. I can now disconnect the fuel of the oil filler with a rag. That's the oil filled up to where it needs to be, and I'm now officially very nearly out of oil, so just have to do that one service there. Next thing I want to do is bring back in the carburetor, which I've put over here. That's all been cleaned off with an air compressor and what have you, so all looking rather nice and clean. Just pull the little linkage out as it came off, poke that on first, and then seal it all in together. Make sure the O-ring and tip goes over that. That's all in place. So I've got to put the 13mm in there. And then I also want a spare 3/8, which I now have a little stock of, not massive, thanks to a good friend of mine, Roy. He sent them over. That's it. Those bolts that I just wound in there, did you know for a proper Briggs & Stratton bolt, they're about £5 each, 4.5, £5 each. So when people say wants a service is missing a bolt, they don't consider the little things like that we have to beg, borrow, scrounge, steal, and not steal, but you know what I mean. All the bits and pieces there to make these engines work properly. Because without a bolt on there, that carburetor's not sat properly. Yeah, £5 each they are, or £4.5, something stupid. Right, that's all now down. This doesn't come with a brake guard on the back because it's got a cover. So I've done oil, carburetor sort of cleaned up and put back, but I haven't actually touched the carb. I want a spark plug. So I've got some brand news. I can't read it. My eyesight's going. All part of getting old, I suppose. No need for a comment on that, anyone. A little hammer. Can't find my little tinkering hammer. I'm going to do a video. My next video is going to be a time lapse of me cleaning my shed. It'll take me about 3 hours to do it, but I've got to do something with my shed because it's starting to get me down now. It's my own fault. I understand that, but it don't take long to get in a mess, and that's how I lost my 14 mil socket. I've got a Halford set. I don't think you can buy them separately, but it's going to be one like that with that many teeth on it. I lost my 14 mil. I just can't find it. So, right, that's now been gapped properly. I'm going to have back in its new home. A brand new spark plug in there. Got to find me spark plug socket. My old dog was a bit rough the other day. She was off her food for nearly 4 days, didn't eat nothing, but I've changed her food over slightly and she's back on it now, so I was getting a bit worried about her. She's 14 years old, and as I say, we just lost our other dog, or buried in the garden. So she's doing alright now. She's back on it, so that's good. Leave HT off for now. I want to bring in my air filter, or a new air filter, which are not genuine Briggs & Stratton, so again, don't knock me out for that. But it's all about costing if we can, and these are just pieces of foam. I don't know if there's any science behind it, but apart from the simple fact they put Briggs & Stratton stamp on the top of it, just a little spray of WD-40 spray. That just collects the fine debris of grass. That goes on top. Big screw in there with a flat head on top. Now this carburetor was working, as we know, so no need to see if it's priming, but it will do. Yeah, it's priming. That goes on top of there. Happy with that. So what we've done? We've done clean all over generally. We've done all change spark plug, new filter. Blade's been done. Here's a cover, and I've got a feeling this has been near a building site or cement. It's got looks like cement debris around it, so I think that's why this is looking a bit tatty, this old mower. But it'll be okay. On the Torx, it should be that one. It is. Wind that down to its home. I've got to do the throttle. Doesn't look like it's got it yet. It's got to go in there. The exhaust shroud. That one goes in there. Don't do that too tight because they tend to snap. Just well seated. I've got the throttle connector. I just want to have the nut that goes on it. I don't think that's even moved, that throttle cable, so that's cool. Should put it on before I put the guard on. May have to adjust that when we get it outside and running. So that's all on. Good, good, good. Put my socket back. That can go back. Right, all that's left to do now is have a look at this grass box, because the grass box has got a hole in the back of it. So I'm going to take the lawnmower off, put it outside. I won't start it until we video that. And I'll look at this grass box, so I can't do a quick repair on this grass box. Right, so this is a bit of a first for me. This grass box is a bit tatty. And rather than just replacing the whole grass box, which is going to be at a massive cost, I'm going to try and do a repair on this. Now these are actually sewn into the plastic by the looks of it. They've got sew marks on the inside, not just glued, so I don't really want to just glue it if I can, but if I can force that over, like so, I don't know if that'll take an Aradite, I don't think it will, but what I'm thinking of doing is get a piece of alley, or some description. I can't just screw it because you'll have screws inside and someone will cut their fingers. If I can put it over top like that, hold that there, and then get a piece of or some rivets. Might be able to just drill some rivets straight through that. I only want to have about 3. Drill some rivets through it, and that may hold that in place. As long as it pinches it, that's all it's got to do. It's not going to take a great deal of weight. It is only grass. Right, so this is where I am so far. I've got a little bit of tin, which I've just shaped roughly to the size of that curve. It might go better that way, I think. Yeah, that way. Just got to mould it a bit better to the side of that, and I'm going to drill that 3 times, 1, 2, 3, and I'm going to put some rivets going through the plastic. That should hold them back up plastic pretty well. And then I think that would be a half sensible repair. It would be better than what it was. So that's where we're going. Let me get drilled up and I'll come back. Right, you have to forgive me for a minute there because I was having problems with my old rivet gun because it's not been used since about 1946 and freezing to death. So it had to be stripped and cleaned. So I used to have a big 109 County. I had a 90, I've had 110s, I've had high capacities, all different types of Land Rovers, and it was used very regularly. I used to change the cabs on them and all sorts, and check a plate and all that sort of crazy stuff when I was younger. So anyway, I think I've got it working now. It had to be stripped and cleaned out, so let's go again and see what we can't achieve this time. So I think that's a hole there, and that's a hole there. Hopefully you're getting this. Let's put you up a smidge. So it wouldn't grab the rivet earlier on, which I think it is now. Yeah, it feels like it is. There it goes. There. So let's bring it over a touch. So I don't want to upset that other rivet too much. That's better, that there. In fact, let's go on this end one next. Somewhere there. That's got him. Let's get another rivet in and go for slightly larger ones if I can. That goes all the way in, like so. That's got that one. Right, drill back in. Let's go for the last one, which is there. Now this may seem a bit finicky, but this could make or break a sale, you know. If it's got a hole in it or it's been repaired, you know. I might just put a bit of black spray paint over top of it. Not that I'm hiding it, but just to blend it in a bit. And that's that done there. It's got a repair on it. There's no sharp edges to catch yourself on. And if I look on the other side of it, right down the bottom here, I'll try and get you in if I can, so you can see the repair. Try and get you in the depths. You seeing it? There's the repair just there. Okay, so they should hold. And when the box is fully extended, that's got it. So that's a good little repair. I'm happy with that. So let's put it on the lawnmower, and then we'll try and run it up, I suppose, and go from there. That's all on. That's on. That's off. Right, let's give it a go. Is there fuel in there? There should be. Yeah, not a great deal, but there is some. In. Let's go for the last one, which is there. Now this may seem a bit finicky, but this could make or break a sale, you know. If it's got a hole in it or it's been repaired, you know. I might just put a bit of black spray paint over top of it. Not that I'm hiding it, but just to blend it in a bit. And that's that done there. It's got a repair on it. There's no sharp edges to catch yourself on. And if I look on the other side of it, right down the bottom here, I'll try and get you in if I can, so you can see the repair. Try and get you in the depths. So you're seeing it. There's the repair just there. Okay, so they should hold. And when the box is fully extended, that's got it. So that's a good little repair. I'm happy with that. So let's put it on the lawnmower, and then we'll try and run it up, I suppose, and go from there.